Here we go. Hi, everybody. My name is Lydia, and today we are going to be talking about why knowledge should not be tested solely via exams. Welcome, and let's begin. So, let's just start off by having a little chat, okay? How many of you here would consider yourself a good exam taker? Just raise your hands. I'm going to keep my hand down because I know I'm not, right? Okay, so maybe two of us. Definitely not me. Now, I know all of you have graduated college, you're in the real world. So, how many of you feel that the exam taking tools you learned in college you use in your real life profession right now? Raise of hands. Okay, me either. So, now imagine getting to go to class knowing that you get to learn what you wanted to learn about and you don't have to just memorize it for a grade, right? That just releases a bunch of stress right off the bat. Now imagine again going to class knowing that at one point in this class or this semester, you will get to show your skill sets in more ways than one, whether that be via exam, via a quiz, via a presentation, via what you're good at. That makes you feel good about learning the information in class, right? So let's go and do the history of an exam. Why do we take exams in the first place, right? The idea of exams was developed in the 19th century by Henry Fishel, who was a philanthropist and a businessman. And he devised tests to assess students' general knowledge, right? Why can they apply the information? Why can't they? But a lot has changed since the 19th century, right? This sounds exactly like the examinations we take today. But so much more research has surfaced and learning has evolved. So, why are we still using this same 19th century idea of how information should be shown, right? So, why does this topic matter to me? Why did I choose to do a whole presentation on it? Because I'm a student who's currently enrolled in a class where my only grade comes from exams. And I've done this for the past 3 semesters, and it has not only taken a toll on my mental health, but my physical health. And I'm also a student with learning disability, which means I take my exams very differently than the average person does. I also have a history of being an awful exam taker that in the last 3 semesters has not changed, let me tell you. And I'm also a very hands on student. I know that I show my knowledge by demonstrating, by getting up and talking about it, or giving an example of something. And I know that that's my expertise, not sitting behind a screen and taking an exam. Whoa. So that was a lot. We're going to take a step back and I'm going to ask a simple question. Did you know that everyone learns and shows their knowledge in different ways? Like that just makes sense, right? We're all different people. We all sit in the class. We all have different ideas. We sound different, look different. But when it comes to education, why are we put in the same bubble? Why do we think that all 70 of us who are different in the class can be examined in the same way? That to me doesn't make sense. So, what even is an exam? And can we compare it to another form of testing and see if they're really that different? See if we could substitute one another. So, Collins Dictionary defines an exam as a formal test that you take to show your knowledge or ability in a particular subject or to obtain a qualification. So, show your knowledge. A research paper is described as a piece of academic writing that provides analysis, interpretation, argument, and in depth research. So, why can't we substitute an exam for a paper? They're both showing your knowledge. They both take time. They both take studying. They both take research. And they both show knowledge gained from this learning experience. So, in a real life situation, why couldn't we do both or do one over the other? So, as a student who has spent the past 3 semesters being taught just to pass the test, right? Oh, you only need to know this for the test. So, this is all you need to know. That was the logic that I was taught. I can tell you firsthand that I don't feel prepared to go into the workforce in that type of learning environment. And I wouldn't suggest that to anybody going into something like this because as a person who has gone through it, I personally don't feel prepared. And I think there are many other ways to make a person feel prepared to go out into the workforce or feel prepared or feel confident in what they've learned. And that is why I believe that there should be other ways for students to show their knowledge of topics. Thank you guys for listening to me. Does anybody have any questions? Raise your hand if you have a question. No? Okay. a muting problem.
So are you proposing a solution to that problem, or are you just
Just
posing the
stating why it's a
question
problem.
like,
Like why can't it be changed?
gotcha. I agree.
Other questions? Yeah.
Why do you think tests are used more than other forms of assessment?
I think it goes back to that 19th century way of thinking. We're just kind of stuck in those ways and stuck in a format that we think has worked for so many years. But who's to say that it's worked? We've just done it and done it and done it.
Have you only had one particular class where they did only tests?
Yes.
Or have you had other classes that seem to use multiple media to test your knowledge?
No, I've only ever had the one class that had all exams. And that is the past 3 semesters always been my worst grade. Every other class that I've had has given multiple opportunities for different types of testing. That has given me a way to compare and contrast, and that's why I feel so strongly on this.
What do you think a way is to get that message out more?
I think kind of showing the difference in grades. Like you see, I can in a different class write a paper on this topic and get a great grade, and I can take an exam on the same topic and not get a great grade. So if we can kind of compare and contrast on the same topics but different examinations, that maybe it'll get across to people that, oh wow, you do know, just in a different way than what I wanted. Yeah.
Do you know of any other studies that might have been done on this?
I personally do not. I just know I'm talking from my experience today, but I'm sure there are plenty of other people that feel the same way. Is that everything?
Yeah, thank you very much. This has been very helpful.
Thanks.
You guys.